this is Catherine of Fit Armadillo, the fitness company that lets you enjoy fitness at your place and your pace. And I'm here today because it is Tighten and Tone Tuesday. Every industry has its own set of abbreviations that tend to confuse outsiders, and the fitness industry is no different. In this week's video, I'm going to share with you 4 abbreviations that are pretty common in the fitness industry, but tend to get confused by the outside world, so that you know the facts. The abbreviations I'm going to go over today are BMR, BEE, RMR, and REE. All of these abbreviations are used when we're discussing how much energy your body needs to run at a very minimal level. So this is not involving any of your daily activities at all, even if you sit at a desk all day. So I'm going to start by breaking down the difference between those 4 abbreviations, and then I'll teach you how to figure out your basic energy requirements and how to apply that information to reaching your fitness goals. So let's start off with your BMR. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. BMR tends to go along with the second abbreviation I mentioned, which is BEE, and that just means your basal energy expenditure. So 2 different abbreviations that basically mean the same thing. These 2 abbreviations relate to a very specific way of testing your minimal energy requirements. If you wanted to undergo a BMR, basal metabolic rate test, you would have to fast for 12 hours, sleep for 8 hours, and then have your oxygen consumption and CO2 expenditure measured in a reclined position in a lab. The second 2 set of abbreviations that I told you about, your RMR and your REE, stand for your resting metabolic rate or your resting energy expenditure. These also relate to your basic energy requirements, and in a lab we would calculate them by measuring your oxygen consumption and CO2 production, but those specific conditions for calculating your BMR would not be required. Now you may be wondering why you would even want to have your BMR or RMR tested in the first place. The reason these numbers are useful and are something that you might want to apply to reaching your fitness goals is you need to make sure your body is fueled properly if you are trying to exercise and work out and have optimal performance in a sport. And if you're trying to lose weight, you want to make sure that you are eating enough calories to fuel your body, but not too many. So this basal metabolic rate or resting metabolic rate is going to give you that baseline of what you need to just have your body run before you introduce any activities. Since we're talking about energy here, we're talking about calories. And you definitely never want to go below the calories for your BMR or RMR, because if we went below that number, we wouldn't be allowing our bodies to function properly, even if we're just sleeping. Now, if you're interested in calculating your resting metabolic rate, but don't have the time or money to go get tested at a lab, you're in the right spot, because I'm going to share with you an equation that will let you estimate your resting metabolic rate. To calculate your RMR or resting metabolic rate, you're going to need to know your age in years, your height in centimeters, your weight in kilograms, and your gender. So hopefully you know all those or can figure all those out. And then here is the equation you are going to put those into. Now remember, this value that you're getting is just your very basic energy requirement, and so you'll also want to multiply this value by an activity factor so you have a more realistic idea of your energy requirements. To figure that out, all you need to do is look at this chart I'm going to put up and multiply the number you got previously from the Mifflin-St. Jeor equation by your activity level in order to get an accurate reading. So if you need a little bit of help figuring out what your current activity level is, make sure that first you track it during this week, and then come back next week where I'm going to share with you some of my favorite resources for figuring out how many calories some of your favorite activities burn. Now that you know the difference between BMR and RMR and how to get an estimate of your RMR, I want you to take action now. Calculate your RMR and adjust it for your current activity level, and then leave me a comment below this video letting me know how those values relate to what you expected your resting metabolic rate to be. Did you learn something by watching this video? If so, I would love for you to share it with a friend because sharing is caring. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a great week, awesome workout, and to see you soon.